It represents a crossing of the Rubicon for our country, implicating the fundamental First Amendment right to petition the government for redress of grievances. As troubling, it targets attorneys for their zealous advocacy on behalf of their clients, something attorneys are ethically bound to provide, and which was attempted here by formally challenging the results of the election through lawful and appropriate means, an opportunity never afforded them or their clients in the Fulton County Superior Court.
John Eastman still talking about how they did little to nothing and all these charges just keep coming at them. Except he was part of the whole planning process for implementing fake electors. They tend to forget that part because it's not very convenient. He had more to say though. He's still doubling down on how the election was stolen. I'm not sure how this helps him.
Do you still think the election was stolen?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Still.
No question. No question in my mind.
And you won't answer on immunity from prosecution?
I won't answer that.
Do you think that the others in this case have a standing on that? People like Meadows?
No comment.
Did they do a mugshot and everything inside?
No comment.
Thank you, sir.
Wants to come talk to the media, but doesn't want to say much of anything else outside of his prepared comments. Fine, that's okay. But still, somehow this election was still stolen. Ray, I'm trying to figure out how this can help. It hasn't helped Carrie Lake. It hasn't helped Donald Trump. I mean, maybe it's less for fundraising, but now that you're actually being faced with some charges and they're bringing your ass in, nobody cares about the fundraising you're gonna get off of this. How about your freedom?
Right. I think, well, for part, they're continuing to double down on the lie that the election was stolen because they're trying to establish that they genuinely believed that they were doing the right thing. And of course, he's trying to frame it as he was being a zealous advocate, that attorneys were being zealous advocates for Donald Trump. I'm sorry, I went to law school. I know damn well that you cannot assist your client in the commission of a crime, nor can you help them conceal a crime. So, I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. And I like that she asked about, immunity, because I think that a lot of the reporters have sort of been glossing over that, Also, I think that more people need to be talking about what plea deals are these guys going to be taking, because they are going to save their own asses. I think that like Jenna Ellis, we talked about this last week, but she's been getting dragged by the Trump side of the media. I'm sorry, she's gonna flip. She's gonna sell these people down the road. There's no honor among thieves. So I think it'll be interesting to watch these cases develop.
Well, for folks that they've shafted as far as paying them for trying to represent them, and it's really hard to. And then the only thing left is the clout. Once you pull the clout out from under them, what's the reason for them to continue to cover for you? I don't know how the plan really could work beyond this. Mark Meadows does have a plan though, because he, again, he was one of Trump's main advisors, even chief of staff at one point, talking about what's going on in this Georgia case. He's trying to extend his time to have to face the music. Let's go to this from Axios, because Mark Meadows is due to turn himself in by noon on Friday of this week. And he asked the federal court in an emergency motion on Tuesday to intervene and push back the date for when he has to give himself up to Fulton County authorities. He's asked the federal judge to move his charges to federal court ahead of filing a motion to dismiss this indictment. The judge ordered an evidentiary hearing on Meadows' request for August 28th. Got a little bit of time. And as an alternative, Meadows' attorney asked the court to issue an order barring Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis from arresting him this week. She already rejected his request earlier Tuesday for an extension of an extra business day. So he's trying to, I guess, shift some kind of time here and there for him to maybe figure some out. I'm not sure what the plan is. Maybe there's extra time to give some sort of defense, or decide whether or not he wants to be on one side of the fence or the other, because there are people that are flipping around and changing stories.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.